A multidisciplinary, versatile career. If I ask you, can you define? What would be your answer? Well, I have a living answer today with me, and this episode is very, and extremely special to me. Today, my gorgeous guest is my mentor who has been my role model when I was studying my post graduation in genetics. Well, this career journey of my guest would inspire you in a way, and you will understand how powerful a woman can be and how versatile outlook, and just with your willpower and mental strength you can conquer anything. And when we think about careers, we talk about courses, where should we do, what should we do, where should we go. I think Dr. Kaberi Das, my very dear ma'am, has broken all norms, all rules and regulations that generally we follow in our life. Being a principal of one career, ending her career as a principal of a biotechnology college, she has transitioned her career due to some personal reason, and today we will hear from her the real stories, her challenges, and how she overcame and landed up today in a corporate multinational company as a data analyst. So nothing is impossible. With that note, I will bring you today my very dear and very gorgeous ma'am, Dr. Kabri Das. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so honored. And it's a pleasure to host you today on my podcast. There was a time when, I would write some notes and stand when you will correct. So, from that position, today you are on screen with me. And I'm so happy to host you today and take your life journey, your career journey as an inspiration. I always look up to you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Gargi, for having me here. I'm so glad to talk to you in a podcast. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And I think I have a lot of things to ask you. And most importantly, I always wanted to bring you as my guest because I know you very closely, very personally. But I think your story of your life is itself an embodiment of power and persistence. And I think that has to go to the world out here through, at least for me, it's an honor. And I think I'm so blessed that I can do that through this podcast episode. So, ma'am, my first question would be something like this to you, just about your journey, because you have been in the field of biotechnology before, and I know that you have initially you went into this line due to some of your personal preferences. So, what is that story? And during this career, like, you ended up at the top level administrative position of an academic career, that is as a principal of a college. So just please tell us your journey and how you manage the challenges and what you did in this career.
Actually, what time there was as such no subject like biotechnology. We are studying the basic life science subjects like zoology, botany, molecular biology, biochemistry, cell biology. These are all. Actually, since my childhood, I wanted to become a lecturer as my father was a professor. My father wanted me to follow his profession. As I have grown, I understood that teaching is my passion. My elder sister is a doctor, my younger sister is an engineer. That's why maybe my father wanted me to follow his profession. And the second part of your question, what you asked me, what are the challenges I faced when I became a principal? Yeah, working as a science college principal was a huge challenge for me Moreover, it was a new college and I was the first principal. And as a principal, it was my first assignment. That means new college, new principal, nothing was in place. I had to start everything from my scratch, but it was a very different experience. I used to look after my college as my child. The college started with 22 students when I just joined. When I left the college for some personal reason, the strength of the college was 600, and it was the big achievement for me, I believe. In the meanwhile, while facing the challenges, what I did, I enrolled for an MBA program in education administration from Symbiosis, and that helped me a lot and gave me confidence to run the college. So the takeaway is I believe there is no problem where there is a no solution. Every problem has a solution. Just we need to find out which way we should solve the problem. So this is about this, what I felt, my personal experience.
Wonderful, ma'am. Like as I said in the beginning, that you have been an inspiration always. So, like that, you say that any problem has a solution, and we need to find out. I think I would relate here one small story for all my viewers and audience, because I think this podcast is very personal to me. I still remember that when we had a paper in genetics long back when we studied, because it was very new that time, introduced by the Bangalore University, behavioral genetics. And to be very honest, I have never read any book on behavioral genetics. It was only your notes, and I still remember how you cared when we barged inside your home also, not only in college, and you fed us, you gave us notes. That was amazing. So I actually wanted to bring this story up because I have seen you as my mentor. I have seen you as a teacher, but I think with time it's more of we became more like friends. And you are of course my second mother. And the transitions that you had in your career, including your personal challenges in your personal life, and today the position that you are holding, the way you have taken the entire paradigm of your daughter, bringing up your daughters as a single mother, I think this is commendable. This is commendable. So, ma'am, can you like uh, I want to understand one thing from you, because being a principal it's not like everybody becomes a principal at the end of academic career. That's, I think, almost a culminating point of an academic career that way, if we are seeing. So how this role, or rather if I ask you this way, that has this role that you have played as a principal helped you in shaping your understanding about leadership or community building? If you can share some tips on that.
See, being a principal taught me that leadership is all about service and empathy. I learned that a strong community requires listening to its members, okay, not dictation, and understanding their roles and fostering an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered. Leadership is not just about making decisions, it is about creating a shared vision and working collaboratively to achieve it. So, in my college, when I was the principal, so very few teachers, but I had that liberty to talk to them, and they were so free with me. They used to discuss everything with me, and it was a very nice journey. And I felt every day so happy for that role, that principal role, for that new college. And I could see every day it is growing. Every day there is 1 inch growth. That was like, what to say, like the celebration all the days. It was very happy, and it was my, moreover, it was my passion. So I enjoyed that leadership, or what you say, the community building. It was an awesome experience for me.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving your insights on how you took forward and your learnings from your life through serving different positions in academics, uh, being our lecturer from there. Your journey went on, and you ended up as a principal. So, if you allow me just a few lines, I would like to share about the challenges, the biggest setback that came in your personal life. And I feel very sad because I have met Sir, your husband, such a lovely person, such a jovial person. And as I learned from you, as I knew you from before, you are already very soft, but you were kind of, as you always mention, that you were a pampered wife and you just followed your passion, and academics was more of your not as a, you don't see it as a money making or as kind of thing, but it was more of, you were passionate and you loved what you did, and it was a very like Barbie kind of a thing, all taken care of by your husband. But I the passing away of your husband was, I mean, that was a biggest tragedy in your life, as I know you from very close corner. So could you share, or if you are comfortable, can you share how your life changed with this particular incident, and what inspired you to pursue a new career path as a data analyst and specialist in this field?
Oh, Gary, that you know, that was a disaster in my life. One fine morning, I understood I am all alone with my two daughters. Younger daughter was only 8 years and the elder one was 18 years, just completed the first year of engineering. And my husband was very fit and fine. So I never thought in my dream that he will leave us so soon. And he was only 47 years old. He came back from the gym around 9 a.m. maybe. After his workout, at 9 a.m., massive heart attack. And by 10:30, everything is over at home. I couldn't take him to the hospital. So that after that, I was just numbed. What to do, what not to do. But looking at my daughters, two daughters, looking at my 80 years old mother in law, I just became very strong for a moment, and that inspired me to pursue a new career path because my teaching job was just my passion. How we said, I never worked for money. I was balancing my personal and professional life very efficiently. I never thought I must run the family. The salary I used to get from my teaching profession, it was not sufficient for me to bring up two children that is in Bangalore. My husband's passing was one of the most challenging time of my life, but it forced me to evaluate my priorities and think deeply about what I wanted to achieve. I realized I needed a new direction that would not only support my family but also reignite my passion for learning and growth. I approached my husband's company for a permanent job because I wanted more secure job where I have other benefits. They were kind enough to give me a job, just the role they gave me in learning and development, trying to match my previous experience. And definitely, they have seen my qualification and experience. That is why they could offer a role. And do you know that, Gargi, 11 years gone, and I'll be retiring next year, that is 2025. So actually, it is what I understood that there was a lot of pain, but there was some excitement, new job, new career, new learning, and so many positive people around. So the world is going because of the positive people around, and somehow I just could manage my job. My managers, they were so nice. They said me, well, first my first manager said me, I will teach you how to hold the knife in the kitchen to cut the vegetables. And that gave me, like, there's so many small things, so many good people around. They help me a lot to do, to continue my job. Now it is 11th year, maybe the next year it will be 12 years. I'll be completing 12 years of corporate job. I entered the job, that age was, I was 47, so I'll be retiring at the age of 60. So that is the change in my career because of my personal life.
Hats off to you. I really have, I don't know which words to pick up and appreciate your efforts, because I understand, ma'am. I have seen you, you have gone through a very difficult phase of life. I have seen you closely, but people who don't know much about you, I mean, to my audience, here you can see that how a human being, if they want, it's not about men or women, and particularly women, I must say, because it's extremely difficult. The world is not easy still when we talk about so much of woman empowerment. But today you see a person with me who has actually lived her life with all the challenges. And ma'am, I don't know, really, I really don't have any words to appreciate, but it is so inspiring, in not in terms only that you are my teacher, or I'm trying to, pamper you, but the kind of depth and the kind of learnings, inspiration you bring in with you today, and that is commendable. The things you have achieved, it is, I think, is just, you have broken the word impossible. So really, ma'am, hats off to you. So, ma'am, how do you balance your work demands? How did you do that? Because now I know both of them are, one of your daughters are quite settled, and another one is on the similar path. So now you are more free than before. But when you started your journey, you had to do this career shift. So how actually you did this thing? I mean, I can't even imagine what was your strategies or methods to keep the work-life balance and raising two daughter, doing a new job. So, can you please tell us?
See, Gargi, that balancing work and personal life required meticulous planning and the willingness to let go of perfection. I don't believe on perfection. Okay, to some extent it is required, but if you look into that perfection too much, then you'll be not able to balance. It is not like that I don't like perfection. I like perfection. I am the, but somehow balancing will be not possible between the work and personal life if we look for the perfection. So I prioritized my daughters and ensured they always felt loved and supported. But I also made time for my career by being efficient and organized. That organized, I will trace on that. If your planning is good, then you can keep balance for both work and personal life. One more thing, I was like that. Now also, I leaning on my support network. I I always prefer to have a support network beside me. That including family, friends are very crucial. It was not always easy, but maintaining open communication with my daughters, Setting realistic expectations for myself helped me a great deal. So that way, actually it was not like that. There was no formula here. As the situation demands, I had to change. Sometimes personal work I have given more importance than my professional work. Sometimes professional work than the personal work took the back seat. That way, somehow I balanced my both work and professional life. And every working woman or men, whoever in both the boats, work and personal life. So they have to balance, otherwise things will not take its own position.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. So, ma'am, one thing which I really want you to speak about, because you have personally gone through a very acute, or I should say, for a longer time, you have gone through a phase of uh, mental health issue, depression. We face challenges. We all have mental health issues, but uh, as you said that you communicated very freely with your daughters and other people when it was required. So when we feel or face personal hardships or professional hardships, we generally don't talk on mental health, right? So how did you actually balance, I mean, not balance, but how did you get through that entire depressing phase? And are there any tips from your experiences that you can share which might be very helpful for all of us? Because I think life is stressful for everybody. Though how we look, how we eat, what we are earning, that's a second part of the story. But I think stress is there, mental health issues are there. But seeing your journey, I feel very inspired, because sometimes when I get frustrated with something is not happening, I will always think of my father, I will think of some of my mentors, and you are one of them. Then I think that, if they can do this, okay, no problem, my problem is very very small. So in that context, ma'am, can you share some advice or strategies that has helped you at that point, and maybe you use them today also?
Yes, Gargi, I had a tremendous depression after losing my husband, you know very well. And 3 years, I think it took longer time than normal people, what I feel, because I don't know. I was not able to come out of that depression. 3 years, I could not smile, and I used to be sad all the time in the office. People used to say, "Why are you so sad?" And I'm not, my sadness has gone inside. I'm not able to come out of that. They used to say, "You need to practice. You need to practice. You need to be happy." So one fine day, I thought, my husband is also very sad looking at me. And during his last ride, I promised him that I will look after your daughters. And that was my self realization. I thought, no more sadness. I have to be happy to make my husband happy and to make my daughters happy. I cannot make my husband unhappy, and he was a complete family man, and for him, everything was his family. Slowly, I came out of my depression by reading books, articles. Wherever I used to see any article on mental health, I used to jump and read. And any write up related to mental health, I used to read like what to say in a day, how any podcast, anything related to mental health. I used to just read. Then I read a book written by Dale Carnegie, and it was mentioned that whole day, if you divide in many compartments and fill them with different activities, you will not have time to think anything which depressing you. So I follow that, and by following that, I think I am now more active than before. I read a lot, mainly self-help book, okay, and I do regular exercise. I go for a long walk every day. Very recently, I have started learning classical dance, that is the Kathak. I wanted to learn something. Many people they are asking, why are you learning dance at this age? You can do something else. I said, no, I wanted to learn something which I have not learned before, but I wanted to learn. So started learning classical dance, and wherever I get chance talk to people, I've become more of outgoing. I talk to people. I have a very good circle of friends. So, all those together, I think I am just coming out of my depression. I'm sad. It is not like that. I'm not sad, but I know how to come out of that sadness. I have learned to do that over a period of time, that how to come out of the sadness quickly, so that I do it. So that was the how did I overcome the depression.
Thank you, ma'am. I think this will help many people who are listening to this podcast, because I think not all, it is not about strategies, it is about your willingness also to come out of that kind of a mental situation. And sometimes, many a times, we fall back in a loop of thoughts, which we keep going, like as you said, you are not able to come out. But all the things that you are doing today, I think it brings positivity inside you. And of course, the people and the friends, your family, it has been a great support system for you. So one thing which I want to understand, maybe little bit, I will go into a more question which would be related to your present profession. So how you switched this? I mean, you became a data analyst, right? Now you're a specialist in that that area. So what motivated you actually to make this shift? I mean to say, was there any specific reason, or it was just like that this was the only option for you?
Actually, Gargi, my main motivation was to support my family, my two lovely daughters. I have to support them. I have to give them the best education, whatever is possible. And because of that, maybe I changed my career. That time, I did not see my passion. I wanted to support my family, and yes, definitely my analytical skill, which I have learned during my PhD, helped me a lot to analyze the business data. So I thought I can work on that area and I can get something different, uh, because my research skill, my analytics skill, and then it is easy for me. Means not easy, it is okay to do the analysis of the business data. So these are the motivations. Main is family, second is something new which I can bring new to the table.
Ma'am, one interesting question as you were speaking was running in my mind, because now you have a role, or you had many hats on your head, like as a mother, as an educator, and now as a I mean, data analyst specialist, marketing specialist in the area. So how do you set goals and measure your success across all these roles? Do you really do that, or is there, I mean, how is that scenario?
Actually, I didn't do. It is like the situation made me to do. So the navigating through various roles such as an educator, a mother, and a marketing specialist requires a unique blend of skill, adaptability, and strategic planning. Each role comes with its own set of responsibilities and expectations, and demanding a distinct approach to goal setting and success measurement. As an educator, my primary objective is to foster a nurturing and stimulating learning environment for my students. And as a mother, balancing motherhood with professional roles, necessities prioritizing family well being and personal fulfillment. And as a marketing specialist, it is the dynamic field, and goals are typically aligned with business objectives and client needs, and focusing on creativity, strategy, results. There is so many things now what I am doing now, fully involved in a lot of research, lot of other things are there. Means every day new idea comes, and with this AI, and things are very different. What 5 years before I used to do as marketing analyst, I do things very differently today. So it is the dynamic, what to say, dynamic phase is going on. So really, I'm enjoying everyday learning. So yeah, so educator, mother, now the marketing specialist. Yeah, doing maybe not the 100% all the time, but okay, I'm trying my level best, and to some extent, I am happy what I am doing.
So, ma'am, with all these years passed, right? Like you have had a lot of experiences with your personal life, your professional life. So, looking back, what would you tell your younger self? And, you know, is there some legacy that you would like to leave for your daughters?
I would say life is unpredictable. Be ready for anything and deal every problem with dignity. I would tell my younger self to embrace change, know and not fear failure. Each experience, may be good or bad, contributes to the great growth. The legacy I hope I leave for my daughters is one of it is resilience, compassion, and the courage to pursue their passions. I want them to know that they can achieve great things no matter the obstacles. I wanted to show them that what I am doing, you guys can do better, because I have, what to say, I have learned each and every step, but you can see your mom and you can learn from her how to overcome the obstacles. That is the advice I would like to give. And always be stay curious, open-minded, embrace lifelong learning, seek motivate mentors who can guide you. It is important to recognize transferable skills and leverage them in your new role. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and take risk. Adaptability and resilience are the key navigator in career pivots successfully. So these are the advice. Okay, I would like to give it to my generation, next generation, my students, my daughters. Means this is the one I have learned in my life. Though there are so many things to learn in future, learn, but till today I have learned that be open-minded and stay curious, and you can do anything. Nothing is impossible in the life.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a fantastic, what to say, experience today. Once again, talking to you on a public platform, and I'm so happy that you allowed me to bring your story up. And I'm sure with this episode, many people will get inspired. And I think what we call challenges are actually not challenges. What we call stress are actually not stress, because I think as I started this episode, I said that we have a living example in front of our eyes, and you have broke all norms. And thank you so much for what you do now for yourself, the dance, the walking, and whatever. And thank you so much for being what you are. And I am so lucky that I have been a part, I mean, you have been a part of my life as a mentor. And I think now we are friends. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Gargi. Actually, what I wanted to say that stress will be there, but you know how to manage the stress.
Yes.
There will be always problem. You should know how to resolve the problem. So there is a way, always. Thank you so much, Gargi.
Thank you, ma'am.
It
Thank you.
was wonderful conversation with you.
Same here.